Okay, so we just read Matthew 7, verses 1 through 5, where Jesus is saying, take the log out of your own eye before you worry about the speck in your brother's eye or in someone else's eye. And my sister says to me all the time, the speck is the log. So what I see in someone else in their life that's a problem, that is often the problem in my own. Whew. Guys, it takes us sitting before the Lord and allowing him to cleanse us of that. All right, so let's look at some other passages real quick. Okay, so let's go to Genesis chapter 3. God has been telling me to go back to the garden. So we're going to go Genesis 3, starting in verse 6. When the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said to him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. Whew, we can relate to that, can't we? And God said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou should not eat? And the man said, The woman who you gave to me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Okay, so Adam and Eve, we can go back to the garden and we can see they were caught in sin. They did exactly what God told them not to do. And what did they do? They covered themselves. They covered their shame. They were ashamed. They hid from God. And then when God called out and asked Adam, what did Adam say? He blamed Eve and he blamed God most of all. He said, the woman you gave me did this. When he asked Eve, Eve blamed the serpent. So neither of them were willing to take responsibility, willing to humble themselves before the Lord and answer for what their part was, which is going to be part 3. Hang with me. I'll be right back.